Okay.
Why not?
Okay.
Oh. Gina Robbins.
What happens over here, huh?
Oh, many things.
I guess so. I'm not over here much. Okay. Oh, my 10K. Okay. Yay. When is this 10K show?
2-2.
When is that? 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have people start posting if they have any questions for me that I'll answer then.
Okay.
Or do you want me to avoid that?
That's fine.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Want to give this a second for a few people to tune in. And in the meantime, I'm going to make a couple quick announcements. So we are back with walk-in night monthly psychic fairs, 100% virtual from the comfort of your own home, completely online. So you can attend one of our monthly psychic fairs. They're called walk-in nights. And last month we skipped for the holidays. We are back the last Saturday. It's always the last weekend of every month. This weekend it is Saturday. What is that? The 29th?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe I know that.
Huh.
I am super impressed with myself. So we are selling tickets for that, and they do tend to sell out quick. We often completely sell out. It's $15. So for $15, you get 2 readings, 2 healings, a reading and a healing you can mix or match. And this event always showcases students and graduates of the Ivy League Psychic Academy. All right, so check it out. Get your tickets now for monthly walk-in night psychic fair on the 29th. Now, we also have our raffle going on right now. I've never done this. I'm super excited about it. It is a $2,100 value. I'm giving away a psychic mediumship course. So raffle tickets are $5 for one entry, and I think it's like 5 entries for $20 or something like that. So go on to the website. It's up in the description link, ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. Get your raffle tickets, enter to win. We're drawing on April 24th, and we're drawing at the 100% free 3-hour training for the psychic mediumship class called Taste of Psychic Mediumship. You're also going to want to get your foot in the door for that. If you didn't attend the last taste, or we ran out of seats. I've only done this one other time, and it was a huge success. So you definitely want to reserve your spot for that. That is, again, April 24th up on the website, and that's where we'll draw out the raffle for the winner. Church, Roots Revival Interfaith. I cannot believe it. We're at our 1-year anniversary, and we're doing for our Sunday service this upcoming week celebration show. We're doing a live Q&A where you can ask me questions. Reverend Danny, our numerologist, Reverend Christina, our astrologer, Reverend Paul, healing arts, on anything about us personally, our belief systems, whatever it is that you guys want to know. And we are doing church bingo. I think it's a fabulous idea. I absolutely love it. Not sure exactly how. That's up on Paul to figure out all the details. But we are doing online, obviously, because we can't have everybody here for that with COVID going on. But online church bingo, and we'll be doing giveaways for that. And it's going to be super fun. So tune in. That's this upcoming Sunday, 8 p.m. on TikTok and here on YouTube. Also, I just wanted to announce the psychic mediumship course registration is open for April 24th. Classes start. However, for the last 10 years, I have been trying to figure out a way to take my course and turn it evergreen. And it's been so hard on me and my assistant teachers to make that possible and get to everybody, but we have finally figured it out. So last week I announced we are officially evergreen, which means you can attend at any time. You don't have to wait for the April class or the few times a year that I offer it. All right. So check it out. Welcome everybody to Psychic Mediumship course anytime. Amazing. Okay. Before we go ahead and get started, I just want to explain, Paul, my adorable producer. How are you, Paulie?
Oh, I'm great. Thanks. How are you?
I am good. Paul will be taking your questions from the comment section. Include names of anyone that you're referring to, living or deceased, and donations are appreciated. If everybody could please give this video a thumbs up right now, and feel free to subscribe. We also have memberships available. So if you hit that join button, you can see the 3 different tiers of memberships. And if you hit that bell, you'll get alerts every time I go live or I post a video. So you may want to check that out also. Thank you everybody for 10,000 subscribers on here. We just hit the 10,000 mark this past week. I am super grateful, and we're doing a show. What is that? The 2nd, February 2nd. So that's 2 weeks out from now, 8 p.m. here on YouTube and TikTok. My thank you for 10,000, where I'll be taking your questions. You can ask about me, you can ask about Paul, you can ask about the cats as they meow and start attacking the camera. And if you guys want to post any of your questions here now, Paul will be collecting those and we'll answer them there. So again, thank you so much for your continued support. It allows me to do so much more with this channel. All right. Are we ready to get into it? Is the audio good? I'm hoping after all that. I should have checked that.
Can you go back to the beginning?
Yeah, sure. All right. So I'm Ivy Rivera. I'm a psychic medium, a Taino Arawak. I own a school called Ivy League Psychic Academy, where we train people internationally online. And we are back to in-person and everything, ranging from psychic mediumship development, tarot, astrology, numerology, children as well as adults. You name it, we do it. So we hope to see you there for classes. This is my weekly Ask Ivy show, where I take your personal questions and I deliver out messages from spirit. And so we're happy to see you guys here. If for any reason I don't get to your question, or you want to book a party, an event, you can go onto my website, ivyrivera.psychicmedium.com. That's in the description box. You can submit an email question there. You could book a reading or book an event. Okay. We ready to get started?
Yeah.
Looks like we got a bunch of people tuned in. Looks good.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. This first one is from Amanda.
Amanda.
What is causing my chronic pain? Doctors can't figure it out and say I'm faking.
Well, I think that one of the things that you have going on is some residual past life issues. You may do well with some Reiki work, energy work. Feel free to book a session with me. I deal a lot with blocks, trauma that crosses over into this life. And so you could use some detoxing on that note. You also have some empathic stuff going on. So when you hit the highest level of empathic ability, 3 and 4, but especially 4, which you have approximately 2 years ago, you are going to notice that some interesting things start to happen for you physically and energetically. And I cannot prescribe or diagnose, but one of the things that I see happening for you is an overabsorption of other people's energy, overabsorption of energy from objects and atmospheres around you. This is normal for that, but what is an unfortunate side effect is that you start to have all kinds of physical problems, because they can be physical impressions from the energy around you. Or others around you. It can also be an accumulation of toxic energy that you're not filtering out. And so you have to work on a couple things. Check out the class called Empathic Awareness up on the site, where I teach you how to block, how to cleanse, how to get rooted and grounded. This is the foundation of a lot of problems, of a lot of disorders, whether it be mental, emotional, physical, and we just don't talk about it enough. Okay, so that class will help you. I think if you look at those 2 areas, you're going to learn some important tools and start to create some change in the direction you want to see with this.
Okay. This one is from Texas Girl in Virginia.
Texas Girl in Virginia. Okay.
Will I be successful in finding the extra money to afford the move into a new apartment with better energy before my current lease ends?
I was going to say yes, before the current lease ends. I think that you probably will. It really does feel to me like at one point, though, you're getting down to the wire. And so you may feel like this isn't going to happen. Sometimes we go through things in life and just when we've like quit or we're about to quit, it comes through. And so I wouldn't bank on it being there early, but it's not going to be too late. Yes, I think so.
Here we have one from Mindy.
Mindy?
I'm just wondering about career paths and if I should pursue a career in service to spirit.
I think that looking at being of service to spirit as a career is not wise for the majority of people. Having a ministry is something that has to be part of your life contract, part of your calling, or it ends up being sort of futile. It's very like you're competing with a million other people who are trying to do the same thing because they think it's marketable, and it's not a business, it's a calling. And so we're kind of confused in that in our society right now because of the Great Awakening that went on a couple years ago. So I do feel, however, that if you look at it as something that you do on the side, or if you look at it as something that you do to be of service and not necessarily make cash off of, turn into profit, market, treat as like a business, then we would say you are actually working with a ministry. And so that's where I see, meaning, okay, that people are coming to you for those services. I think if you tip too far in the other direction, it dries up. And a lot of people don't understand why that happens. I always tell my students it's light work first, business second. And that if it is within your life contract to do this, you can book a life contract reading with me at any time. We can take a look at it. I do see it in there. I just don't know that it's the same way you're thinking, that if it's supposed to happen, it will come to you and you literally couldn't run from it. If you have to chase it down, it's not for you, or you are looking too much at how to make money off of it and rely on it for income versus just focusing on being of service and in your ministry. I would also say this to you real quick. I know I need to move on, but I would also say that one of the things I think you should be focusing on is energy work and delivering messages, which is kind of two different things. But that's really where your skill set is. And that's really where the universe is trying to use you. So you want to abide, okay, by what your calling is. And it's those two key areas. Okay.
All right. This one is from Tfew.
Tfew. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Should I go to the potty on Friday?
Yeah, I guess. I don't really feel like it's, it's sort of like, how do I say this? If you're going to go, don't go with a chip on your shoulder. If you're going to go, don't go with an attitude. If you're going to go, don't go closed off. You may as well stay home, or do the other thing you were going to do with that other person. It's almost like, how do I want to say this? I think that if you're going to go with an open mind, somewhat open energy, somewhat, and, more of an open heart to understand that if you're there, you may have positive energy to give out. It seems like you may go closed and you're not giving energy out and you don't want to receive anyone else's energy. And that's where I'm saying it would be easier to go do something else or to stay home. But I do feel that there are some negative people there and some sort of toxicity that seems to be coming out of them, whether they're doing it deliberately or they're just totally out of control. And I think you're going to avoid some landmines. But other than that, it seems to me like you have the potential, if you go into this with the right mindset, to leave feeling really at peace, really at rest, really centered and grounded. And honestly, too, like, I don't know how to explain this other than you are proud of who you are. And we don't want to necessarily judge other people or look at other people and be like, I'm glad I'm not you. But there can sometimes be a recognition in dealing with others that you are evolving and you're more woke and that you have great positive energy to give off. And that is something you should be proud of. So I see you sort of leaving independently and on your own. I would also say that if you go, you shouldn't be doing a lot of drinking or drug use, okay? Or that's going to totally wipe out this entire message, okay?
This one is from Christina.
Christina. Was
Joe my brother in my past life?
Joe, your brother, does feel like you guys had some sibling dynamics. He was younger than you, and you were forced to caretake over him. I'm not sure where your parents are. There seems to be 5 of you with a potential 6th. You may have had a sibling who passed. There is definitely something here. And it looks like, okay, I'm almost feeling like due to the sibling that passed and due to being around, due to a mother who's dealing with some mental problems that could have again come from the passing sibling, who was not either one of you. That mom could have also had some additional health issues due to some mental health deterioration of the health issues would have come from that. And you may have been forced to be more adult. Parentification would have been an issue for you. And so you could be seeing some interesting dynamics with your parents in this life with parentification. And also, yes, with him coming back into your life, you may feel that you have some kind of obligation to him, or you want to protect him, that you feel he may even feel entitled to your energy and attention and protection and care. And so there is an odd dynamic here, and we want to make sure that we keep it in balance so that it stays healthy and we learn how to get past that in this life. Okay.
This is from Marissa.
Marissa.
I had a dream with my sister Monica that she wanted to die. What is happening with her? Is there anything I can do to help her?
Well, it was symbolic more than anything. So when we look at your sister's energy, she's going through some transition, and you can check out my dreams class up on the website to learn more about symbology and how to do dream analysis accurately. So this is one of those situations where you're believing that this was a vision dream. You're believing that this was prophecy, and it was really more subconscious. And so what you're picking up on here is that she's going through some pretty significant change. And this level of change will create this energy that we put off to the world, and other people will pick up on it, that says that we're either like pregnant, or we're about to die, or, we are about to have some kind of, catastrophe in our life. And what it's really about is death and rebirth. So it's more about circumstances. It's about our mentality. It's about our energy shifting and changing and growing. And I feel good about that. I think she's actually due for a change this big. But what you will be seeing with her is her letting go of her old ways, okay, including a lot of her personality or characteristics that she may have picked up on that weren't really authentic to who she is, okay, programming. She's shedding.
This one is from Heather.
Heather?
My paths are all over the place and I'm lost. How can I straighten all the paths out?
How can you straighten all your paths out? They're all over the place and you feel lost. I would recommend getting a life contract reading with me, because you're only supposed to be on one path. Okay. So when you feel like you're hustling, like you're pulling teeth, like you're going up against the wind every day of your life, it's because you're out of alignment with your life contract. It's because the universe is no longer supporting you in your journeys or your choices, because law of attraction has kicked in and is essentially working against you. It's important to understand what you're here to do on earth and to stick to it, to make sure that you're setting proper boundaries with everybody and everything else that doesn't align with your true calling. And that's why you're feeling out of control. I could not get to all of this right now in 3 minutes. It wouldn't be appropriate to do so anyways, because this is a serious topic. So this isn't really the right place for me to be able to get to that in a productive way for you. But book a life contract reading and we can certainly clean that up. Okay.
I just want to pause briefly to thank everybody for their donations. It's awesome. Thank you so much. Susanna, Cheetah, Lulesia, Texas Girl, and Ivy. Everyone was congratulating you on your 10K.
Thank you.
Texas Girl.
You guys did it. I'm so happy about it.
And Tui, all thanking you for your advice.
Very good. Thanks so much for the donations too, guys. Yes, absolutely. You guys are welcome. Okay.
Okay. So we're going to start off with Ulesia.
Okay.
Does my brother Adomas have anything to worry about for his health?
I would never tell anyone to worry about their health, and I can't prescribe or diagnose. What I do feel he could be more mindful of is his thoughts and attention in regards to mental health and stress and his filtration system, meaning his organs, and how much effort he puts in to things like exercise, but also things like juicing, food, healthy food. We need to think of food as medicine, and we need to think of our thoughts as medicine, and we need to think of our lifestyles as medicine ultimately. And if we thought more about that every day, we'd be in a healthier place. And so I think what's really going on with him is he's working through some of that. That's the point of his journey right now. And it's to help him to get to higher ground later in life so that he's maintaining in a better fashion than what he has been. Okay.
This is from Ash.
Ash?
Me and my boyfriend are planning a little trip for my birthday in spring.
Fun.
Can you tell me if I am going to be able to go and if it is safe?
I think you're going to be able to go. I think that any restriction that you are thinking of that may be in the way, whether these be like people or like family dynamics or like work dynamics, just seems to involve others, and also the financial aspect, a little bit having to do with calendar, which kind of takes us back to the people aspect of it. Is your calendar going to be free, or does it have to be committed over to them? I think that you would want to deal with that now. So it's sort of like you're not asking, you're stating that you're going. I think you should go. I think you've earned it, and that it's almost like an important lesson for you to not put yourself second all the time. Okay, to say, no, I am taking this for myself. I want it, and that's all I need to say. Did she say it's for her birthday?
Mm.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's like it's a celebration also. And I think that if you put those boundaries in place now and you set your mind on even let's say if it were finances, okay, you set your mind on the goals that you have for it and put dates on that to achieve, I think that you certainly will. If you don't do that, it feels like a lot of obstacles could actually come in to pull you back and to keep you from going. And it could end up being even a toxic dynamic between the two of you, where you end up almost fighting over it or feeling negative about it. And it's like, why? Let's not allow this to get tainted. Okay.
Okay, this one is from either Kara or Kara.
Okay, Kara.
Do you have any messages from my grandma, Doris?
I want to say that your grandmother doesn't come in here with a ton. She is more silently watching over you right now as you figure some things out. I don't feel that she's trying to manipulate or dictate how you should be making these changes, but for about a year, intensely for 8 to 9 months, you are going to be making quite a lot of changes. This has to do with boundary setting on others. This has to do with detoxing. This has to do with getting people out of your either out of your life or sort of almost like demoting them a little bit, keeping them more on the outskirts of your life so they're no longer front and center in significance to you. You are taking your power back, and you are also taking your skill set and you're applying it to work. So you have change going on in several different areas. And what your grandmother is saying is that she sort of stands back and watches. And it feels like if you're reaching a point where you're going to compromise yourself, you're not going to do and make a move and take what you're supposed to in life. She has a way of like tapping you on the shoulder. You may get this with an ear ringing, like a tinnitus in your ears, or pressure in your ears. You may have a dream about her. You may hear your name called. You may just start to notice a lot of signs and symbols around you. She gets very loud in those moments, and she has a way of just being like, excuse me. Okay. Like, let's not forget you. Let's not do that again. She wants to see you. Okay. She said, I want to see you to stop. I want you to stop going around the mountain. Okay, stop going around the mountain again and again and again. You don't need to learn these lessons anymore. You just need to walk out what you learned, okay?
We have one from Kayla.
Kayla?
Do you see me living in London for a job for a while?
I think you could. I think this falls into a free will zone. This is not destiny charted, like 100% guarantee this is going to happen. This is going to happen if you make it happen. And I do feel that it's significant potential for you. I also feel that this is something that has come up to your past. So it's like we're revisiting this idea. There is also some talk of past life influence on this. So you would have lived there in the past. You have several different reasons to go. And if I were you, I definitely would. Okay. You may even do this for a year and then like 2 years later find that you're back in Europe, in another location. I can't tell if I'm in like Scotland, but I see you going through Germany. This is going to lead to many other things. So this is the beginning of almost like a whole new life for you, where that part of the world becomes more like your home than anywhere else. Okay.
This is from Morgan.
Morgan,
How does Rod feel about me?
how does Rod feel about you?
Yeah.
Rod seems to be okay. So Rod is a bit of a user. Rod would be interested in people only if it can compliment him, only if it can give him something. He needs a lot of stimulation. He needs a lot of care. He needs a lot of ego stroking. He needs a lot. He's needy. Okay, he's needy. So if you can offer him all of these things, then he will give more time and attention to you, not because he has anything to offer you, but because he will take from you. And if you can't, then he doesn't really think on you much at all. He seems to currently be thinking on a couple other people who are able to give him more of that time and energy. But it has sort of a bizarre feel to it, almost a creepy element, where it's inappropriate, okay, crossing boundaries, and he's like reaching. And with you, I think he feels that he would have to, it's almost like he's getting ready to kind of pull you in, reel you in, almost like fishing. Okay. And I think you should be mindful of that. So if you start to feel that like you feel he's distancing away from you, and then all of a sudden kind of pulling you in, that would be very accurate. And it feels manipulative. Okay.
This is from Charity.
Charity.
Anything coming in Korea?
Anything coming in your career?
Mm.
Well, I could just look and see what's there. There's nothing in particular waiting. Anything about her career? What does she need to know about her career? It feels like you're in a little bit of a waiting place. It's almost like over here to the past, you would have been learning a lot, collecting your tools, building up that portfolio, and picking up some tricks to keep up your sleeve for the future. It seems like you can't leave until all of that is done. And right now, it's like you're getting ready to enter into a transitional period. So it's like, okay, we're done with that. We can check that off the list. And now we need to look at what else is out there for you. What I feel you should be focusing on is looking back at what you ultimately wanted to do. So if we were to look way back at what you had passion about, even as a child, what you may have gone for in regards to like your degree or previous training, where has your head been? And a lot of what comes up for you is almost like legalistic, and it's about systems. And it's about revamping those systems, being a voice in those systems, getting access to resources, almost like an advocacy feel in some ways. And there seems to be a need to let go of what you had been doing and move more in this direction. You also seem to get in your own way a lot. And so you may be saying like, well, I don't know how, or that's not exactly where my training was, or that would be different. How do I break into this? And I think you need to think about it less and move more. Doors will be opening for you, and they won't for a lot of other people. All you have to do is knock because it's within your life contract. It doesn't have to make sense, and you don't have to feel ready. Okay, just do what you know you're supposed to do. So it looks like that would be the best focus. Okay.
Here we have one from Sonia.
Sonia.
Will the rest of my medical school training go smoothly with my current school, or will it be in my better interest to transfer elsewhere?
I think that staying put will give you the same outcome as leaving. energetically. And I think that if you leave, you're going to have to actually put in a lot more energy. So it depends on what you're thinking in terms of prosperity. I would say that if you change, we could be looking at sort of a longer period of time. Again, some exhaustion level. You may feel better about it in some ways, but ultimately when you come out of it, if you were to look at both options, you would be like, well, it's kind of the same. So I think it's up to your free will what you do. I ultimately feel that if you were to stay where you are and just finish this up, the most important thing is that you can start applying this to your everyday. You can actually start applying this to your work. You can now get out there and do what you meant to do. And so it's kind of like, let's not give too much time and attention to this part of the process. This is nothing but a stepping stone and a small part of the process. Let's just get it over with, Okay. All right, you guys, I will see you for my 10,000 celebration show on February 2nd, where I take your questions for me, for Polly, for the cats about anything. And if you guys, again, want to post them below now, Paul will be collecting them. We'll answer then. Thank you so much for 10,000 and your continued support. And I will see you, next week for class. And that's on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. We do a free mini class. And next week is the reality of relationships. Why is it that some relationships are so difficult? Why is it that some relationships are impossible to let go of? They're haunting, even if years pass. Why is it that we can believe a relationship is supposed to be special or is special, and it really ends up being a lot less than what it is? So we're going to learn how to value our relationships in the appropriate way and to not put too many demands on them from a life contract perspective. We're going to look at the contracts and relationships from myself, and we have special guest Christina Del Rey, our astrologer, talking about the planets and how you can learn more about your actual relationship dynamics from what's written in the stars. So tune in for that. All right, everybody, have a great night. Thank you, Polly. Thank you, Spirit.